I am Dr. Kannan, Head and Neck Oncosurgeon, Apollo Cancer Center, Chennai. Now we will see about thyroid cancers. Thyroid cancer is one of the commonest cancer in the head and neck region. Thyroid cancer usually affects the females of reproductive age group, usually from 15 years to 55 years. So we should know in and out about thyroid cancers because thyroid hormone is one of the most commonest hormone in the body, which is needed for the growth, which is needed for childbirth, which is needed for daily day-to-day function. So any surgery in the thyroid may affect these things, so it's very important. When you look at the incidence of thyroid cancers, it's more common among females. So if you do an ultrasound scan of the females, more than 50% of the females will have some nodules. All the nodules are not malignant. So you have to do a proper ultrasound and diagnose the nodules which is malignant. So there are few characteristic features which will tell us whether the nodule is malignant or not. For example, the nodule which is increasing rapidly in size, the nodule which is associated with pain, the nodule which is occurring in extremes of age group, a nodule which is occurring in a child, or nodule which is occurring in people more than 55 years are more commonly malignant. Similarly, the symptoms like a patient who have change in voice, patient who has swelling in the lateral side of the neck, on the either sides of the neck, they could be malignant. So when you come into treatment aspect, how do we diagnose the thyroid cancers? Because more than 50% of the females will have a thyroid nodule, of which only 1 to 2% would be malignant. The most important thing for diagnosing thyroid cancer is ultrasound. When you do an ultrasound will tell you what is the size of the nodule, whether the nodule is spreading to the sides, whether there is any nodes. With these things, we can diagnose whether this nodule is malignant or not. Similarly, now the recent ultrasound will also tell us about the blood flow inside the nodule, will also tell us about the compressibility of this nodule. With the advanced ultrasound machines, we can properly diagnose the nodules which are pathological. Once we know a nodule which is doubtful, then the diagnostic thing is FNAC, so fine needle aspiration cytology. We take a little bit of tissue from this and then send it for testing. Our pathologist will tell us whether it is malignant or not. Initially, we used to do this FNAC blindly. Nowadays, this FNAC is done under ultrasound guidance, which would give us the correct point where the tumor is malignant, so that we avoid the benign areas. We would go to the areas which is more doubtful, so that the diagnostic yield of FNAC is much better. So for diagnosing thyroid malignancies, two most important investigations, ultrasound and FNAC. If the lesion is very big, if the lesion is going close to the thyroid trachea, that is the windpipe, larynx, which is the voice box, or to the esophagus, then these patients would need a CT scan. If the nodule is increasing rapidly in size and the FNAC is not a routine papillary thyroid cancer, if it is anaplastic, then these patients would need a PET scan to diagnose the tumor which is in the other parts of the body. Now coming to the treatment, the most commonest thyroid tumor is papillary CA thyroid. There are very rarely few patients with medullary CA thyroid and anaplastic CA thyroid. Initially, we will see about the management of papillary CA thyroid. In papillary CA thyroid, I have told you about the most commonest investigations: ultrasound, FNAC, and CT scan. Now, how do we treat them? The most important treatment is surgery. You have to remove the affected gland, and then if you do a radioactive iodine treatment, with which we can find out whether the patient needs further treatment or not. So with combining both ultrasound, surgery and radioactive iodine, the prognosis is very good for thyroid cancers. The more than 95% of the patients do very well when they are picked up at the initial stages. For papillary CA thyroid, the cure rate is more than 99%. So the most important thing is proper surgery. There is two nerves, superior laryngeal nerve and recurrent laryngeal nerve, which needs to be preserved properly, and there are 4 parathyroid glands which also needs to be preserved properly. If you preserve all the 4 parathyroid glands during surgery, the patients will not have any morbidity. If the parathyroid glands are not preserved well, then these patients will have calcium related problems. The next most important point is cosmesis. Whenever you plan for a thyroid surgery, you locate a particular skin crease so that cosmetically the scar will not be obvious at all. Whenever you are doing a surgery for a nodule which has doubtful malignancy and there is the chance of malignancy is low, they can be operated by robotic or endoscopic techniques, so they will be entirely scarless. After doing a thyroid surgery, you also have to address the neck nodes. If there is doubtful neck nodes, you have to address the neck nodes both in the central compartment, that is on the either sides of the trachea, that's the windpipe, or on the lateral neck, on the lateral aspects of the neck. So once you clear the neck nodes, once you clear the thyroid, it goes for testing. The pathologist will confirm the malignancy. They'll tell us the size of the tumor. They'll tell us the multiplicity of the tumor. They'll tell us the number of nodes affected. Depending on it, these patients will go for radioactive iodine. The radioactive iodine will cure the patients from and will also prevent the recurrences. Whenever you have an advanced thyroid tumor, which I previously have told you, which is going into the windpipe, which is going into the voice box, which is going into the foot pipe, then these patients would need an aggressive surgery where we would resect the involved windpipe and we have to anastomose it properly. So with this advanced surgeries, these patients will have a very good quality of life, very good survival, and chance of cure is upwards of 80 to 90%. So this is very important. So prolonged follow-up of these patients is important for two reasons. One, we have to diagnose whether the tumor is coming back or not. After removing the thyroid, we have to supplement these patients with thyroid hormones, which would improve the patients from getting back to the previous quality of life, and it would help the young age females in getting back to the reproductive age groups. So the life after thyroid surgery will be quite normal except two things. One, they'll have a thin line which is most commonly not visible. Second, they have to take early morning thyroid tablets. Otherwise, their life will be quite normal as they were before. Thank you.